Good morning, all of you. How are you? Hello, I'm good, man. I'm fine, all of you. How are you all? Right. So, I'll start with a new one today. That's about biotechnology. Okay. Good morning, Kavita, Sunidhi, Rekia, Prakriti, Rukia, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. So, how's you? All of you, I hope you are doing well. Layashri, you are roaming around. Layashri, Lakshmi, good morning. Now, if I open it up, you can see this, sir. See, this is how these people are kept to the world. Can you see this? Somebody has kept it open like this. It's very bad. Namrata, Chandrika, all of you. Good morning. Yeah. So I started yesterday giving you some introduction about biotechnology, right? So I gave you some definitions of biotechnology, right? Yes or no? We did, no? Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. So what is a biotechnology all about? It is a technical thing used to improve the microorganisms at the genetic level, right? I told you the first thing in this is the genetic engineering. Layashri, where are you? Layashri? She is from which college? She has opened and kept it on the fan. How can she watch it? See, this is how she has kept the phone. Can you make out what she has done? Can you observe this? No, no. I don't know. What is that? Yes. Can observe that, no? Really, I'm feeling awkward, right? So you should keep it with you. Start the class means not switching on the phone and keep it somewhere. And she doesn't even know that it is on. Okay, so continue with the biotechnology. So technical things we are talking with respect to improving living beings, right? So actually, I told you genetic engineering is the first thing, which is the major unit of biotechnology. So what we do is in genetic engineering is we are going to modify the genome of an organism by cutting and inserting the desired gene in that, right? We call simply this one as the tailoring of genes. You know, tailoring, cut and join, two pieces cut and join and stitch. That is called engineering of genes, right? But this is so not that so simple how you usually think that way, right? So this started. Hello, are you there, all of you? 81 members are there. Are you able to hear me? Okay, good, good. Okay. Now I'll explain on the board. So what we do in biotechnology, that is in genetic engineering, I tell you. So the base of genetic engineering is your molecular biology. You should have proper knowledge about molecular biology, then only you can enter the genetic engineering. So what happens is, imagine there is one plant. Okay, this is a plant. It has a special character. It's a leaf of it. I will take the cells of this cell, then find out the genome of this. Maybe this has one superior character of producing some medical alkaloid chemical. Maybe they will, then I will identify the genome. Which gene is having that character? Maybe this gene is required gene. What I'll do is I'll cut this off, okay, from the whole genome. So big genome, I have double-stranded DNA. I will cut the required gene, okay. Then I will introduce it into the fast multiplying organism like bacteria. Suppose this is the bacteria. It has its genome. I will insert this gene into this genome. Okay. Then seal this. Allow this bacteria to multiply. or we call it as cloning, clonide. So then what happens? My gene is multiplied into large number of copies. Then I can take the end product for the usage. This is a kind of genetic engineering. Did you understand what I said? It's like hybridizing the genes, modifying the genes with the desired characters. Are you getting it? So what is genetic engineering? It is engineering of genes by modifying the nitrogen bases, by inserting the desired gene in this, right? Means there will be always one gene. I want to introduce a new gene in that. So we can call this as gene hybridization also. Hybridization means the joining, cutting and joining of genes, right? We call it as gene hybridization. Okay. So how we do this? This requires certain types of enzymes and certain type of techniques by which I can alter the genome. So what is the technique that alters the genome? I'll tell you now. So if I say this gene has to be cut, how it is cut? It is not a physical thing existing, right? So it's not physical. It's a DNA. DNA, how can you alter? DNA can be altered by using certain enzymes. So there are certain enzymes by which you can cut the gene and insert into the another plant or another organism. That's what we call it as genetic engineering. Okay. So how we do this? Actually, we have lot of enzymes involved in it. So this basic thing was started with some of the scientists' observation. One is Albert Nathans. These scientists were working on certain bacteria where they found that the bacteria, suppose this is the bacteria, it has genome. Normally virus will enter into it now. The virus which is causing the virulence means it's going to cut the virus is the one that undergo lytic life cycle. Okay, this has left its genome. So what will happen? If it has left the genome, the bacterial genome should be cut and killed. No, but instead that, what happened was this bacteria genome produced something by which this has cut the genome of the virus, right? Then they thought, what is present in the bacteria that is making the other gene or DNA to be cut into pieces? So what is that they identified was there is some certain type of enzyme present in the bacteria that has the ability to cut and break down the genome of the foreign organism. So that they identified it as the enzyme. So this is possible when you want to cut it. This is possible only because of the enzyme which help in breaking down the DNA. So first thing I told you, what I want is I should cut the genome of the required type and insert into the host or one bacteria. So first observation was the enzyme that cut the DNA. Its name is restriction endonuclease. Very important word I'm using. Restriction endonuclease. This is the nuclease enzymes that cut the DNA at required points. They're called REN enzymes. Okay. Apart from that, you need another enzyme that can stick the DNA, that can stitch the DNA. We call it as DNA ligase. These are the major tools for genetic engineering. They are must, right? So this was identified accidentally, I told you, by the scientists Nathans and Arbor, right? One more is there, I'll tell you the names. These people were working on bacteria. They found that suddenly the virus infected bacteria could overcome the infection of virus by cutting its genome. That enzyme that cut the DNA of the foreign gene, it was named as the restriction endonuclease. Like this was known long back, right? Next, apart from that, second thing is they also observed that if suppose the desired gene we insert in the host bacteria, this is a host, our desired gene I introduce here. This is what I want to multiply. If I insert like this desired gene, then what will happen? This one, the bacteria will produce these enzymes and cut off my genome. Suppose I want some genome to be multiplied or inserted in the host bacterium. Bacteria will produce some type of enzymes that is cutting the DNA, and my genome will not work, right? For this, they observed another option. What they observed was, in the bacteria, there are certain freely multiplying circular DNA located. This is called the plasmid. What is plasmid? It is an extra chromosomal double-stranded circular DNA fragments that show the ability of independent replication. Then, if that is present, then DNA will multiply and it has few genomes. That's why they could produce this plasmid in the lab, because few nitrogen bases. Then cut this DNA of plasmid and insert my genome in this and make this as a hybrid by cutting and joining the DNA. So then they inserted this into the bacteria. Bacteria could multiply our genome, right? Are you able to follow what I'm saying? If you get doubts anywhere, you should ask me. It's the basics of genetic engineering. If you don't understand this, you don't understand anything. That's why I started freshly today only. Okay. So second thing is the plasmid vector. They identified certain vectors to transport our genome to the host bacteria. Okay. These are the vectors including plasmids. Okay. This is the second tool. So all these what I'm talking is the tools for genetic engineering. First is about the enzymes, two enzymes, that is one is DNA, RNA, REN, restriction endonuclease, ligase, vectors like plasmids. Third tool is you have to insert this genome into the suitable host. This my genome along with the plasmid I have to insert in one bacteria which should multiply my genome. This we call it as a host bacterium. So you need a suitable host to multiply my genome. Last one is I should put it in a large quantity, not one or two. I want them in a big quantity. I need a huge furnace where I can multiply the bacteria continuously into millions and millions of copies. We call that as a bioreactor. If you have any doubts and all, you please ask me. It is slightly technical chapter. That Layashri, somebody call her and tell no. She has put the mobile somewhere at the top and she is happily roaming around. What's wrong with you, Layashri? From that time you have kept the mobile like that and you are roaming around. I don't understand these people only. Yes. Okay, you tell me now. Anything you are not understood in this, because this is the basics I am doing it. It's a basics of it. Okay. So if I do the basics, what did I tell you in the basics is the major tools involved in genetic engineering I told you. What are the major tools involved in genetic engineering? It is the enzymes like restriction endonuclease and restriction endonuclease enzyme later followed by DNA ligase, then the vectors. Are you there, all of you? Enzymatic vectors are there with a suitable host. Yeah, whatever is there on the board you are writing, but I want to tell you why you need these enzymes. So that I will give you in detail. Okay, this is about the genetic engineering. Listen. Actually, this is one kind of logic you should have, right? It's not like whatever is there in a word, you by heart you'll get it. No, you should put your logic and understand this. So imagine there is one plant, okay? And I have some specific character in this plant. It has some good quality of proteins, imagine. I want to insert this protein into protein producing character into the another bacterium or another plant which has good yield. Imagine. So two plants I have. One has some good protein, one has good yield. I want to combine these two characters. What will be my problem is I cannot cross pollinate. Imagine there is one plant is a brinjal plant, and one is the plant from maybe rose plant. I cannot combine the genes because they are of different types. They don't belong to each other. They don't have same genome, right? Then I can't take chance by cross pollination. I can't take crossing them cell fusion. I can't do it. What can I do is I must identify the no. This will not work. Shreyas, stem joining grafting will not work because what you want the character may not be produced at all. Right? I told you it is like a taking a lottery ticket you are taking, you may or may not get it. Same thing, if you join the stem, you may not get it because if they are one is monocot, one is diploid, they will not even join. Therefore, what you have to do is identify understand the seriousness. It's not joining the stem will not work in any. So you try to join any other stem, rose to rose only will work, rose to jasmine will not work. Do you know that? Stress, right? So what you have to do is you need to identify the genome in that plant A, which is responsible for the production of that particular protein. Means you have to completely open up the genome and identify how many genes are there, which gene for the what character. What is how we learned it about the Human Genome Project. Do you remember Human Genome Project? Do you remember? Shreyas, how they did Human Genome Project, you tell me. What is the technique of Human Genome Project? I'm not asking definition. How they did HGP, Human Genome Project, how it was conducted. Can you tell me? Shreyas can tell me, not others. Shreyas, tell me how exactly Human Genome Project was conducted. Means what was the technical thing in the Human Genome Project? Are you there? Many of you are not responding. Okay. Others can tell me how the Human Genome Project, what is that main aim of the Genome Project? Shreyas, you are there? Many of them are very mum there today. Nobody is responding properly. I will wait. If people are sleeping, I will also sleep. Tell me, you are there is not important for me. Tell me how it is done. What is my question? EST and sequence annotations. What is that? Shreyas, tell me. What is EST? Long form. Or sequence annotations. What they do? You are opening the book and reading now, I think. You understand the meaning. Tell me the meaning of that. I don't want anything else. Okay, Sudipta, I'm asking the next question. No? What is EST sequence annotation? You answer. That question is over now. I'm not asking that question anymore. What do you mean by sequence annotations? Prakriti, where are you people? You have forgotten. See, I told you it's a basics is molecular biology only. For this, the major basics is only molecular biology. You can't just take the things for granted. Total DNA of the cell is isolated and converted to fragments of DNA. What is sequence annotation? Sequence annotation. Small sequences are made and they are allowed to multiply. Yeah, coding and non-coding sequences are taken. Okay. Now keep that in mind, all of you. Where is Shreyas gone? Shreyas, respond now. You said grafting and you went off. That's all. Is not grafting is not biology. Grafting is like layman's biology. Hello Shreyas. Where are you? Shreyas, open up. Tell me what is that sequence annotation? What is that done? He is not there, I think. Something he read, he wrote and went off. Nisarga, you also didn't answer. They study the function and assigned to the different regions of DNA. Okay, they do it. Okay. Now keep that in mind. Genetic engineering, initially you have to do that. What you have to do is find out which gene for what character. Suppose that plant A is there, which has so many genomes. What is that particular gene, what character? If you want to identify a specific character, maybe this is resistance. Which gene possesses that character you have to do? Because you want to make it very specific results. We don't want to take like a wide range of experiments and anything happens is okay. No. I want to be very specific saying that this gene, this character, I want to introduce into this plant. Okay. So first you have to do the gene manipulation. Take the whole genome, manipulate it with gene, what character, with gene, what character. Then cut that gene required for us using enzymes. Then which plant you want it to be expressed. In that plant, one of the cell you insert this genome. A genome will have to hybridize. This is called genetic engineering. Then grow that cell in the tissue culture media. You know already tissue culture media. In tissue culture media, you are multiplying it and producing root and shoot, and you are producing a plant which is a hybrid of A plant and B plant. Where do you get this? This is genetic engineering. Okay. So what is the tools we required? Andre one cutting enzyme beku, one joining enzyme beku, one transferring tool beku. Right? ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಕೈ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರಿಂಗ್ ಟೂಲ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈಯರ್ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜೀನ್ ನ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಜೀನ್ ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಜೀನ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ವಿದೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ animal cells exist very slow. What we do is we take the genome of that plant or animal, put it in the bacteria and multiply the bacteria, take out the end products. This is genetic engineering. Are you understanding this? I am trying to make it simple. See, you don't be in a, yes, you are understanding, okay, fine. So let me begin with the real RNA enzyme. Okay, leave. Don't say yes, yes, yes. If I ask question, you will not answer. Okay, don't say one person saying yes is fine for me. Listen. Now I'll explain you one by one. What is ultimate thing is my gene should be introduced in the bacteria and multiply. Now, what are the things? So first, I'll give you how exactly they are done. Right still here. The basics of biotechnology and genetic engineering, then I'll go further. Okay, did you understand what we do is in the overall biotechnology, this is a desired gene. I write this as a desired gene. Okay, I'll combine with the vector. This vector is normally plasmid. What is vector? I'll tell you later. Vector. Then I cut both of them using restriction endonucleases. I told you what is RNA, I am going to explain you. RNA I use, I cut them. So if I cut, I will release some free nitrogen bases here, free nitrogen bases here. Like this. Now you combine them. Combining, I will write the result over here. We get the plasmid with our desired gene here. This is called as the recombinant DNA, or because the rDNA or recombinant plasmid. This is introduced into the host cell and cloned. This is the overall biotechnology, right? Whenever you transfer it, you have to join these ends. Joining ends is by the enzyme ligase. Okay. This is the story of biotechnology, or not biotechnology, genetic engineering. This is the whole story about one major field in biotechnology, that is genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. Or genetic engineering, both are same. Okay. So what you do is you don't write this diagram until I say it. Now you write some introduction on this. First understand the basics of this. Write down. First, yesterday I told you two things, no? Genetic engineering and maintaining aseptic condition. Where we left that? Notes. What was the last sentence? We left there only, right? Okay, right now. Genetic engineering, right? It is the major branch of biotechnology. Heading Dodda genetic engineering. It is a major branch of biotechnology that involves cutting and pasting the desired DNA fragment into a specific host for human benefits. For human benefits. I repeat, genetic engineering, it is a branch of biotechnology that involves cutting in a underlinement, cutting and pasting and joining, pasting the desired DNA fragment into a specific host for human benefit. Just draw this diagram. Desired DNA or gene plus the plasmid. To write this छोटा वाला diagram. It's not a major diagram. At least to remember. Plasmid vector. These two like a flow chart. After that, you should draw it this here. Okay. Desired DNA or gene. Plasmid vector. Cut it by RNA. Then join them. It's called rDNA or R plasmid. Put in the host and clone and use. Write like one flow chart to have a broad idea about this. So you need to draw the first desired gene or DNA and write one plasmid vector, circular DNA fragment, right in between arrow marks and REN there. Restriction endonuclease. Then combine them, both of them you are going to combine and produce this DNA continuously. See, it's like a continuation. You write this here and join this with the ligase enzyme. Write the host, then for use, human usage or use. Done. This diagram ala idralli technique ide tumba. Okay, leave it. Now don't say done. This is not a big diagram. You need not to draw this diagram anywhere. For you to understand, I gave this. Okay, just to understand what is the definition for genetic engineering, I gave you this. Okay. Now I tell you about the tools of this. Okay. So what are the tools in this? Tools of genetic engineering. I told you first one, the enzyme REN. Second one, the enzyme ligase. That's DNA ligase. Third one, vectors. Actually, these enzymes come together. You can write them together only because enzymes, both are enzymes only. You should write them together. Okay. REN and ligase. Second one is the vector. Third one is a host. Fourth one is a bioreactor. Okay. First, let me finish this. Then we will talk about the one by one. Don't write anything till I say that. Okay. Write down. rDNA technology, recombinant DNA technology. rDNA technology is based on following discoveries. First one, presence of plasmid in bacteria. Presence of plasmid in the bacteria which replicates independent of the main genome. Independent of the main genome. Next one. An important observation done by scientists. Important observation done by the scientist Arbour that the bacteria infected by a bacteriophage. Again repeat, ಯಾವ repeat? First one, plasmid ಬಗ್ಗೆ repeat ಯಾವುದು? First point, okay, write down. Important discoveries. First one, presence of plasmid in the bacteria. Presence of plasmid in the bacteria, which replicates independent of main genome. Independent of main genome. Bardra? Main genome. Second point is an important observation by Arbour, in which bacteria attacked by a bacteriophage, was able to successfully cut down the bacteriophage DNA cut down the bacteriophage DNA with the help of a special enzyme. As a defense mechanism. Which is later named as restriction endonuclease. I repeat the spelling. It is REN, that is restriction endonuclease. So spelling of REN, you write REN is nothing but restriction endonuclease. So that was later named as restriction endonuclease. Restriction endonuclease written. Next, Arbour, Nathans and Smith. I write their names. Arbour, Nathans and Smith. One already I written Arbour here. Arbour, Nathans and Hamilton Smith. Isolated REN in 1970. Isolated REN in 1970. In 1970. from the bacteria, Haemophilus. I write the name of the bacteria. You have to take down the name of the bacteria. From the bacteria, bacterial name is Haemophilus influenzae. Okay, the name of the bacteria is Haemophilus influenzae. Haemophilus influenzae. Actually, para-influenzae, they call it para-influenzae. Haemophilus para-influenzae. I'm sorry. This is para-influenzae. That's the name of the bacteria. Haemophilus para-influenzae. Written Haemophilus para-influenzae. It is the name of the bacteria from which restriction endonucleases were extracted and isolated by these scientists. This is a major discovery happened in biotechnology, because till that time people did not know that DNA can be cut at the specific point. Otherwise DNA, you know, it's a huge DNA nitrogen basis sequence will be there. But when it has to be cut at a real specific point only, you can cut the gene. Otherwise, the whole group of genes you cannot cut haphazardly. So genetic engineering involves cutting the specific gene, right? Whole genome we are not going to cut it. Only the gene is cut, insert into another plant genome, so that the another plant will have hybridized genome, right? From A to B, we are hybridizing the genome and getting the output of both of them. That is genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. Got it? So therefore, whenever I am explaining these, you start relating what for I am explaining this. Not only be in this diagram or this explanation, you relate it to the previous thing. Why I told you that REN is required. Why it has to be cut at specific point. Because if you graft the plants, imagine you are taking one plant and grafting it, right? One plant A, plant B, and you get the end product which you don't know. It is not identified properly. Why? Because it will mix the genome its own way. It cannot have specific results. That's why one of the Raphanobrassica I told you, radish and cabbage was combined to have the radish-like root and cabbage-like leaves. But it was totally wrong. It had a radish-like the leaves and roots were like cabbage. Because you cannot assume that these are the genes going to be combined. Because it's beyond our idea. Internal genome combination is its own choice. Therefore, what you have to do is, you will have to identify the gene and guide the plant to multiply this gene only. It can't do its own ways. Take the gene from one, put it in another, and ask the plant to do this. For that, we take the help of the bacterial plasmid. Bacterial plasmid, it is a genome, independent genome of the bacteria present in its cytoplasm. If you observe, this is a bacteria. Imagine this is a bacteria. It has a genome here, but it has another small genome present here. This can be called as a plasmid. What is plasmid doing? Plasmid helps in amplification of on their own. Means whether main bacterial genome will multiply or it won't multiply. This will form many copies inside. How it is useful for me? I take the plasmid genome because of having few genes. I can create a plasmid in the lab, right? By using those particular nitrogen. I create the plasmid and I cut the plasmid and insert my genome in this. So it is called the genetic hybrid. It's a genome hybrid. Now I take this and put it in the host plant and host organism and multiply. Get the components what I want in a larger number easily. But this technology is a very costly process. It's not a so simple thing. I said I cut something and join it. It's not like a real clothing. You have to locate the genes. You should have a complete genome analysis. You should have a gene map with you. In that, you should know which nitrogen base to which nitrogen base is coding for this particular character. And it is possible only if only one gene codes for one character. Most of the complications happen because one gene may control many characters. Or many genes control one character, like a human skin character. Skin is controlled by large number of genes, right? Like lot of genes are giving you certain colors to the skin. Melanin pigmentation depend upon the complete tyrosine metabolism. Tyrosine to homogenesic acid to then melanin. If they are not produced, you get albinism. So therefore, genetics is a complicated process, not a simple straight way line explanation. There is a flower, it has a stamen, it has anther. No. It is the depth of the subject. So biotechnology, when you learn, you should have a prior knowledge about the molecular biology, DNA, genome, human genome project, and what are the enzymes, what are the chemical nature, everything you should know. Are you getting it? So biotechnology, don't think like by hearting writing will not happen. You will have to learn, read, understand, analyze, put the logic behind it, otherwise it will not work. Right? So the very important thing required is the logic behind it. Okay? Work on this. Right? I don't want you to simply learn and by heart and write in examination, it will not come. Right? So better, I want you to work with the molecular biology base. Fine? Okay, fine. Write down. The scientists, what are the names you have written? Which one you want me to repeat? Again, she has written. Who is this? Sanjana. What do you want me to repeat? Sajwa. She is asking me to repeat. What should I repeat, ma? Which sentence you want me to repeat? Okay, done. The name of scientists. Okay, Arbor, Nathans, Hamilton, Smith. There are 3 scientists. Okay, write down. Scientists Arbor, Nathans, and Hamilton Smith in 1970 isolated first restriction endonuclease. Isolated first restriction endonuclease from the bacterium Haemophilus parainfluenzae. Name of the bacteria is Haemophilus parainfluenzae. This enzyme can cut the DNA at specific sites. This enzyme can cut the DNA at specific sites. Specific sites. This DNA can cut the DNA at specific sites. Right, good students, you are right. You are writing proper names. Okay, next you write. These enzymes are called molecular scissors. You know what are scissors? Those who will cut. These cut the DNA, so they are called as molecular scissors. You know the spelling of scissors? SCISSORS, molecular scissors. Yes, correct. Correct, Nisarga, you're right. These enzymes are called molecular scissors. For this discovery, the 3 scientists were awarded with Nobel Prize. For this discovery, the 3 scientists were awarded with Nobel Prize in 1978. 1978. The term genetic engineering, was given by scientist Paul Berg. I'll write the name of the scientist. The term genetic engineering was given by scientist Paul Berg. I write the name of the scientist. Okay. That is Paul, Paul Berg. Scientist Paul Berg. Scientist Paul Berg. And he introduced a new gene SV40, new gene, name of the gene SV40. I repeat, he introduced a new gene SV40 from a bacteriophage. Into the bacterium successfully. From the bacteriophage into the bacterium successfully. This was asked many a times. Name the gene. What is the gene? SV40 was a gene extracted from the bacteriophage. Actually, it's a lambda bacteriophage. You write lambda. That's the name of the bacteriophage. You can write the regular lambda also. Lambda bacteriophage, and introduced it into the bacterium. So this was the first thing. Actually, these three scientists only discovered what is RNA, right? Restriction endonucleases, they just discovered. But he actually did the experiment where he took the genome from a bacteriophage, cut it, inserted it into the bacterium. So it was a more better discovery than these, and even he was awarded with Nobel Prize. Okay, write down. Scientist Paul Berg introduced gene SV40 from lambda bacteriophage into the bacterium. And thus he won the Nobel Prize in 1980. And rightly he was named as father of genetic engineering. Father of genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. Genetic engineering is named as father of genetic engineering or rDNA technology. Very important word. So many a time, father of genetics is Mendel. That's gone case now. Father of molecular biology was Benzer. Samuel Benzer. You have written. Even Morgan we call father of modern molecular biology. Now I am talking new thing. That's father of genetic engineering is Paul Berg. Remember his name because he was awarded Nobel Prize in 1980 because he has done practically transferring one gene from a phage into the bacterium and producing the hybrid. Right? So he is rightly called father of genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. Write it. Genetic engineering or recombinant DNA technology. Next. or recombinant DNA technology. Right? Next, right? Scientist Chang and Cohen. Scientists. Another group of scientists I'm giving you. Next point. Chang and Cohen. These two scientists, Chang and Cohen, generated first rDNA molecule. Generated first recombinant DNA molecule. Recombinant DNA molecule in 1973. In 1973, by combining a gene from bacterium to the plasmid. By combining the gene from a bacterium into the plasmid. Plasmid of E. coli. Name of the bacteria, it is E. coli or Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli or E. coli. E. coli or Escherichia coli. So, Chang and Cohen produced a recombinant DNA molecule in 1973 by combining a gene from bacterium into the plasmid of bacteria E. coli or Escherichia coli. I hope you heard about Escherichia coli. It is in the human intestine. It's a colon bacterium. So first they combined these two. So this is the another one in 1973. So remember the timeline, right? 1980. This was done by Paul Berg. It is after this discovery, right? Then Chang and Cohen did the recombinant DNA molecule in 73 by combining a gene from one bacterium and to the plasmid of E. coli bacteria. Therefore, it is the second thing. Okay. Next one, you write down. Did you write it? Okay. Next, you write principles of biotechnology. So this is all the history of biotechnology. Now I'll give you principle. Means I told you, tools of biotechnology. That's what we'll be learning under the heading principles of biotechnology. Means on what basis the biotechnology works. Okay. Principles of biotechnology. Okay. Write down. Genetic engineering, biotechnology has major two branches. Already you have written it once. Major two branches. First one being genetic engineering. Second one is maintaining the aseptic environment. It's a major branch. Major principle is genetic engineering. This is the first branch, genetic engineering. Second one is the aseptic environment, maintenance of aseptic conditions or environment. Okay. Next. Write the heading genetic engineering. Again, I am writing you the principles, bigger part of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. As already discussed, genetic engineering involves cutting and pasting two genes called splicing. Means if you cut, join, it is called splicing. Splicing is cutting the genome and joining the two. That's called, it's a basic principle of genetic engineering, is cutting and joining two different genomes, right? Cutting and joining the two genomes, and it's called splicing. That's right. Major tools in genetic engineering are, have you written major tools already? Major tools means how you cut the DNA and all. Tools I have already told you. One is, first one, enzymes like restriction endonuclease and DNA ligase. First tool is this. Second tool is the genetic vectors that can take my genome and transfer to the host vectors. Third one is the right proper host which should not affect the human beings. Last one is the bioreactor. These are the things we need to concentrate, right? Concentrate on these 4 units. One is enzyme like RNA and DNA ligase. Second is a vector. Third one is a host. Fourth one is a bioreactor. So we need to work on all the 4 units. Write down first, these are the 4 tools of genetic engineering. Write down the tools of genetic engineering. Did you write? I'll erase. Shall I? Yeah, we are finished. Now let us start with the restriction endonuclease enzymes. Okay. So what are restriction endonuclease enzymes? Right? Already I told you the name of scientists who discovered genetic engineering, RBNR, Arbour, Nathans, Hamilton Smith. Arbour and Nathans and Hamilton Smith, 3 people that discovered the restriction endonuclease enzymes. Now I want to explain you how exactly RNA works. Okay. So imagine there is a double-stranded DNA like this. Okay. It has genes from one place. To see any nitrogen-based sequence can be called as a gene. Okay. This can be called a gene. This may be first gene, maybe X, M, L, A. It's not in an order. So I'm writing any order, right? These are the various genes. So what are our enzymes doing here? Restriction endonuclease enzymes cut the DNA at restricted sites, right? So what do you mean by restricted sites? So these they are the cutting enzymes. Okay. How do they cut? Okay. This is the genome. This is the DNA. They must cut at specific point. I don't want the first to be cut. Only I want second to be cut. Then I have to guide the enzyme to cut at that second point only, not the whole DNA into pieces, right? So any DNA cutting enzymes are there. We call them as nuclease enzymes. Do you remember? Nucleases are those enzymes cut the nucleic acids. DNA cutting enzymes are DNA nucleases. RNA cutting enzymes are RNA nuclease enzymes. Now I'm saying this nuclease enzymes are simply cutting and breaking down the DNA. But if there are any enzymes that cut at a specific point, they are called as restriction endonucleases. So they will have a site. We call this as a restriction site. What is a restriction site? Actually, we have something called the palindrome sequences that form the restriction sites. So what are palindrome sequences? I'll just give you. So there is DNA with 5' and 3' here. Here we have 5' and 3'. Imagine there is a nitrogen base G here. A, G, A. Here is T, T, C, T, T, C. This we call it the palindrome sequence. What do you mean palindrome? It reads same thing from 5' to 3' in one direction and reads the same thing 5' to 3' in the another direction. We call these as restriction endonucleases, which are called the restriction sites. Means GAA, TTC, GAA, TTC. Both the sides it reads the same thing. Otherwise, palindrome sequences means they read same thing on by either side. Like you think of mom, it reads MOM, both sides it's same. This is called normally palindrome sequence. But this palindrome sequence in DNA should read on both the strands the same nitrogen bases. It's called the palindromic sequence of DNA. This is called as the restriction site. So restriction sites are the DNA sequences that contain palindrome sequences of nitrogen bases. Okay, so the palindrome sequences can be cut anywhere and they form the broken pieces. Okay, so restriction endonucleases cut the DNA at restricted sites. Means a DNA will have huge number of such restricted sites where there are palindrome sequences, and these are the enzymes that are going to cut the DNA. I got a tool for cutting the DNA at my required point. Simple example, imagine you have a big cloth, you have a scissor with you. You can't become a tailor unless you know where and how to cut it, right? You can't take pieces. If you cut it now, you will not be a tailor, right? You should know exactly which point I should cut to make this way. If you want to make a bag, you can't cut haphazardly, right? Therefore, there is one special course for tailoring, right? Everybody can't be a tailor because you don't know where to cut it, how to stitch it. Same thing, these enzymes will cut at a specific point. Very important, the specific point. That point is called restriction site. Only at that site DNA can be cut. We call it the restriction site or restricted site. This is normally having palindromic sequences. Did you understand this? All of you are clear with this explanation? If you understood the explanation, please say yes. You understood it? You understood it. Say yes. Yeah, you understood it. So it's not. So think in a logical fashion. It is not that physical cutting I told you. It's an enzymatic breakdown. Enzyme will break it, right? Now I'll give you how exactly it's going to cut. Okay? This is restriction site. This is the palindrome sequence I told you. Now what are the types of cuts it is forming? Okay? So first types of cuts I'll give you. Cuts. If this is a double-stranded DNA, okay, this is a DNA. You can cut here like this, If it is cut like this, you will get 4 bases here plus 4 bases here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called as a blunt cut. You can see here that nitrogen bases are not free, just they have blunt ends. So these are called as the first types of cuts. They are called the blunt cuts. Okay, these are not much useful for me. So what I should do is, I must cut them with the nitrogen bases free. Suppose this is the sequence. It may cut here, cut here, two ends. This will result in one sequence. How is the sequence? Here it has cut, here it has cut. In between is intact. 2 bases are free here, 2 bases are free here. These bases are sticky in nature. These are called a second type called sticky cuts. Blunt cuts will not help because sticky cuts, if there is, imagine that AA free here, CC free, another sequence having TT and GG, if they are there, this is sequence here free, Another one having complementary bases will come fit, form a circle. This is called as a hybridization. So you should have sticky cuts. Are you able to follow this? Did you understand this? Sticky cuts. Write the heading. First one, enzyme restriction endonuclease. Okay. So did you take it down? So what I said, if it cuts, this is the restriction site with palindrome sequence GAA TTC, GAA TTC. They are reading same thing. 5 prime to 3 prime and 5 prime to 3 prime. This is 3 prime end. This is 5 prime end. So this way and this way it reads. It's a restriction site. But cutting, when you do it, if it cuts in the center, it forms blunt cuts. There is nothing by which it can bind. These are called blunt cuts. It may cut exactly in the center. But sometimes it may cut like this. 2 bases here, 2 bases here. So if you cut it, 2 bases are open here and 2 bases are open here. So if suppose you have AA here, you have CC, imagine. Another sequence is there having complementary base. Instead of A, you have TT here in this and GG here. Together, this A and T will bind, G and C will bind, form a recombinant DNA. There should be such sticky ends. This is called sticky cuts or sticky ends. Ends are sticking to each other because they have free nitrogen bases. Free sequences A here, C here, T here, G here, they will combine like this. Therefore, blunt cuts are not such useful things than the sticky cuts. Just for example, imagine you have to join two things. Join two things if they have no complementary sequences. Imagine two blunt things are there like this. You want to combine, they will not join easily. Suppose you make one small cut here, half part, half cut here. If you join, they will fit on their own easily. The same thing, if they have sticky cuts, it is useful for the recombination of DNA than blunt cuts. Did you understand? And then this REN enzymes are named after the bacteria from which they are extracted, right? Right? One of them is EcoR1. EcoR1 refers to, it is taken out from E. coli bacteria, Eco, and is the first synthesized bacterial enzyme. EcoR1 is E. coli produced first. R1 is the first series of enzyme. Next is second one, HIND. That is Haemophilus influenzae. Haemophilus influenzae. I told you. Third one, Bacillus. BAM. BAM H1. That is from Bacillus bacteria. So we are naming them according to the HIND 3 means it's a third time the people have extracted after the third. It's a series of extraction. HIND 1 is a HIND 2 is a HIND 3 is there. So like that, based on the number shows the time of discovery. The first part shows from the bacteria, which bacteria it has been extracted. Okay. So right now, don't get, don't mess up with the subject because it is little technical. You can't be straight here. It is a technical subject. Therefore, most of the students say that, oh my God, it's so difficult. It's not difficult, it is a technical subject. Okay? So it can't be seen. See, all these things I can't show you in the lab. The REN enzymes and these DNA, you can't see. Only what you can see is only the chromosomes you can see. But taking out DNA, cutting DNA is an enzymatic process. You can't see the DNA. Right? So that's a major issue here. Most of students think that biotechnology, genetic engineering is not for me. Don't think like that. It is for everybody. Those who want to think technically will get this. Okay? Right on. Write down. Right, you're right, all of you, you are able to understand, very good. Write down the enzymes involved in genetic engineering are of two types. Namely, cutting enzymes and joining enzymes. The cutting enzymes are called REN. Cutting enzyme is REN and joining enzyme is tell me. I repeat the students. What is this Nisarga you want me to repeat? Lipase alama, lipase are different, ligase are different. Nisarga, lipase is the one that cuts the fat. Lipids, ligase is the one that joins the DNA. Okay, right, good. Write down. The cutting enzyme is REN, joining enzyme is DNA ligase. Written? Correct, correct. You are writing, correct. Write down. Write down RAN. These are the specific nuclease enzymes. These are specific nuclease enzymes that cut the DNA at specific points called restriction sites. They cut the DNA at specific points called restriction sites. Restriction sites. Restriction sites, side heading, right? Restriction sites. Restriction sites. Write down. Restriction sites of DNA are having palindrome sequences. restriction sites of DNA are having palindrome sequences. Palindrome sequences of nitrogen bases. Restriction sites written, palindrome sequences you written. So in the bracket you write palindrome sequences are those which read same forward and backward. Palindrome sequences are those which read same forward and backward. Forward and backward. For example, Malayalam. You can write Malayalam example. Malayalam reads both sides same. Malayam. Malayalam. Did you write example in the bracket? Yes, Malayalam. Even you can write mom, dad, and all. They are palindrome sequences only, but they are short ones. This is slightly longer one. You can understand. Palindrome sequences. That is Malayalam. Bracket complete. Restriction sites show palindrome sequences. Okay, write this, children. You write this. Palindrome sequence in DNA is this. You write it. Two o'clock. Done? Ma'am, can you please repeat? Last line. Wait a minute, I'll repeat. What is the last line? I repeat. Anybody, those students who are written, please write it. Okay, restriction site show palindrome sequences. Write the palindrome sequence like this. You are written, Nisarga? Okay, fine. Did you write this? Done, na? Palindrome sequence of DNA palindrome sequence of DNA contains similar nitrogen base sequences in 5' to 3' end. Similar nitrogen base sequences in 5' to 3' end on both the strands. On both the strands. Palindrome sequence of DNA contains same nitrogen base sequences on both the strands. Both the strands. Written. Repeated. That is, they read same nitrogen bases in 5' to 3' direction. They read same nitrogen bases in 5' to 3' direction. Done? Repeated, ma. Next, right? Types of cuts by REN. Types of cuts by REN. REN can cut the DNA in two ways. Can cut the DNA in two ways. First one, blunt cuts. Blunt cuts. In which DNA is cut at the center of sequence to produce two blunt pieces. Two blunt pieces. Such cuts are not much useful for genetic engineering. Write the first diagram showing cut ends, cuts which are blunt. Next one, sticky cuts. These are the special cuts by REN at specific nitrogen bases on either side. At specific nitrogen bases on either side. On either side. So that the cut DNA possesses sticky nitrogen bases. Sticky nitrogen bases with free hydrogen bonds. Sticky nitrogen bases with free hydrogen bonds. Next, right? Naming of restriction enzymes or REN. Naming of restriction endonucleases. It's time up now. We'll do it in the next class. Okay. Is it getting time? Did you write this drawing? You write this drawing. Did you draw that? Alright, did you draw? Or are you feeling comfortable with that explanation? This chapter, not my explanation. You are doing that. Should I show the board? You're still drawing this. Should I show the board? Okay. Drawing. I showed the board. Did you finish, Mehek? Completed? Okay. So listen, students. This chapter is like a technical chapter, research chapter. So don't get messed up. Happily learn part by part, you will be understanding this. Is it fine? So don't panic. You will get it. Okay. This chapter is little technical. Okay. So keep studying, keep understanding. See you. Bye. Bye.